Oh, ang ganda naman ng bahay ni Kuya. Wow.
Maaari ka nang magpakilala.
Ay, sige po Kuya. So, hello po. Ako po si Justine Tibagacay, or ang kilala rin bilang President Dreamer ng STEM 3. And narito po ako sa bahay ni Kuya to show my skills and capability as a student. And beyond that, I can prove more and I can show more my other things that I can do. So, I hope I can do my task very well, and I hope I can get along with the other housemates. Yun lamang po.
Handa ka ba sa task na ibibigay ko sa iyo?
Yes po Kuya, handang-handa na po ako sa task na iaatang nyo o ibibigay nyo po sa akin.
Bilang estudyante, ang task mo ngayong linggo ay magturo ng subject na biology sa iyong mga ka-housemates. Kaya mo ba ang task na ito?
Yes po Kuya, kakayanin po. Kailan po ako maaaring magsimula?
Maaari ka na magsimula ngayon.
Sige po Kuya, mauna na po ako. Welcome to the Binoy Peak Biology, where you can learn a lot about life. So today, I am your task leader, Justine Tibagacay, and I'm going to teach you a lot of lessons and knowledge about biology. So, our first topic for today is all about energy. So as we all know, all living things require energy to grow, reproduce, maintain structure, and respond to their environment. In simple terms, all the process in all organisms, from bacteria to humans, require energy. Organisms are able to harness or gain this energy by obtaining it from another organism. That could be observed in many food chain or food webs in our ecosystem. So, tracing back the origination of energy in foods, all of this energy trace back to what we call photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a process used by plants and other organisms to convert light energy to chemical energy. So in photosynthesis, there are two photosynthetic reactions happening in plants. So first, this is what we call the light-dependent reaction that uses light energy to make two molecules, namely ATP and NADPH. These two molecules are needed for the next stage of photosynthesis. So this kind of reaction usually occurs in thylakoid part of plant cell. Second is the light-independent reaction, or what we call the Calvin cycle. This usually occurs in stomata part of plant cell that contains enzymes that work with both ATP and NADPH to build glucose. So this reaction comprises of three stages, namely carbon fixation, reduction, and regeneration. So referring to ATP, what is ATP? So ATP stands for adenosine triphosphate. It is an intricate molecule that serves as an energy packet for thousands of reactions that takes place in the cells of most organisms. Apart from humans, microorganisms also rely on ATP for energy needs. So ATP plays a significant role in cells transport, cell signaling, structural maintenance, and synthesis of DNA and RNA. So to be able to harness or gain this power of ATP, there is what we call cellular respiration. So what is that? So cellular respiration refers to a series of metabolic processes that takes place within a cell, which biochemical energy is harvested from organic substance and then stored in an energy-carrying biomolecule for use in energy-requiring activities of the cell. So the main importance of this cellular respiration is simple. It is to produce cells with the energy they need to function. So in cellular respiration, there is what we call aerobic respiration that requires oxygen to be able to make ATP. So in this aerobic respiration, there are three basic stages. First is glycolysis. Glycolysis is a series of reactions that extract energy from glucose by splitting it into three carbon molecules called pyruvates. Second, Krebs cycle. This cycle harnesses the available chemical energy of acetyl-CoA or acetyl coenzyme A into reducing power of NADH. It produces two carbon dioxide molecules and one GTO or ATP and reduced forms of NADH and FADH2. Lastly, the electron transport chain. In this stage, oxygen acts as the terminal or final electron receptor in the process. All energy carries from previous stages bring their electrons in the chain and the total of 32 ATP is produced. So as you can see, in the table, we can see that the major features of different stages of aerobic respiration. The glycolysis, Krebs cycle or citric acid cycle, and lastly, the electron transport and system and chemiomosis. So lastly, we will tackle about the advantages and disadvantages of anaerobic respiration and aerobic respiration. So first, the advantages of anaerobic respiration or fermentation. It does not need oxygen to respire. Second, it produces ATP quickly. Third is useful waste products turn into beer, wine, and bread. And fourth, it preserves food. Consequently, its disadvantages are it produces 2 ATP only. It rots decay food. Third is glucose is partially oxidized. And fourth is lactic acid is formed, causing muscle cramps or muscle fatigues. So moving on to the aerobic respiration, its advantages is it causes the complete breakdown of respiratory substrate. Second, aerobic respiration produces water. Third, it generates large amount of ATP that is equal to 36 ATP all in all. So while its disadvantage is it is only two. First is it needs oxygen to respire and it produces ATP relatively slow. So that's all for the disadvantages and the advantages of anaerobic and aerobic respiration. So that wraps all our topic for today. So I hope you learned a lot of things